Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Mo's Corner. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. I do my best to make sure that I read all the comments, and try to take one or two things away from them. For those that are joining us for the first time, you're welcome. Well, here we basically talk about, social topics, life lessons. We try to talk to one another, encourage one another, and also learn from one another. So please feel free to comment, okay, and to also subscribe. All right, so guys, today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic, I would say, and it's something that I just came across really, and I feel like it's something very important or interesting to talk about. And it's basically about gender roles in relationships. And guys, I must tell you, there is a lot of back and forth about this particular topic. There are different opinions, different ideas about what a male responsibility is supposed to be in a relationship and what a female responsibility is supposed to be in a relationship or a marriage in that sense, right? But I have a very interesting question about how were some of these roles defined, right? Who came and said, okay, a man is supposed to do XYZ, a woman is supposed to do XYZ, right? So yeah, it's something that is worth discussing, right? Okay, so not to go spiritual or anything, right? However, from the Bible, we do know there are certain things that God has said a man is supposed to do, and there are certain things that a woman is expected to do. Right? A man is expected to love his wife as Christ loved the church, and a woman is meant to submit to the husband. Right? Yeah, so those are, generic. But now, when I'm talking about gender roles, I'm talking about things like who is supposed to provide in the relationship or the marriage, who is supposed to, in quotes, do house chores, for example, because of course, we're Africans, right? And as Africans, there are certain expectations. There's a way, we grew up. There's a way, we've seen over time in our history how things are done, right? The man is the one that goes to the farm. He's the one that gets food for his family. He's the one that works, to get food for the family. The women generally or typically are supposed to be the caregivers, the home managers in that sense. They're expected to cook, they're expected to clean, they're expected to take care of the children, to bear the children, to take care of the children, to raise the children while the men go out and work, right? So now, of course, over time, generations have passed and things are beginning to switch up a little bit and things are beginning to change, because these days, right, the general notion that a man is expected to be the one to provide is changing. Because most of our ladies now, most of our women are not sitting down at home and just, wallowing and just having fun. I'm not saying some women are not housewives though, that are, doing the most and chopping their husband's money. Not everybody wants to suffer. But I'm saying that these days, women are also go-getters. Women are also going at it. We're working hard. We're, becoming captain of industries. We're becoming business owners. We're making our own money. Right? So no man can come and use that to now come and say, oh, I'm the one providing, I'm the man of the house, I'm the one providing for you, and use that to make the lady melt. At least for some ladies, it's not that way anymore. Some ladies still do it, but for majority of the ladies in this generation, especially this Gen Z and millennials, right? It's a thing, right? You see the women are now, going hard at their businesses and at their crafts. Now, the man is expected to provide in a relationship. That's a topic that I know a lot of people find very, very weird. Because even for the woman that is making her money, she still has expectations of the man. And that's why you hear people say, oh, in marriage, his money is our money and my money is my money. Guys, in my own personal opinion, I don't think that that's actually right. I feel like it's very important for both parties to be able to work together as a team. If you are still doing boyfriend and girlfriend, the lady can do one or two things, buy the guy gifts and all that, but I will not advise any lady to go spending her money on a boyfriend. I'm sorry guys, it's just my opinion. You guys might think differently. But, I'm not saying she should also sit down idly and chop the guy's money. If the guy wants to take care of you, fine. It's the dating stage. It's the one that is chasing you. It's the one that is trying to get your attention. It's the one that is trying to, make you his girl, make you his woman. So, of course, by all means, let him spend, Jerry, I beg. and maybe on his birthday you can also do something nice for him. But when it comes to marriage, in my opinion, I believe that both parties need to work together to achieve their dreams. So whoever is there should be a plan, basically, right, where both parties are able to come together and say, okay, this is how we want our finances to be managed, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to do. Nothing is actually set in stone and nothing works on a straight line. And also, I would like to add that what works for one couple might not necessarily work for another couple. For some couples, the man is a sole provider and everybody's good, everybody's fine with that. No problem. If that's what works for you, good. But in some marriages, the couples tend to want to work together. That's also fine, whatever works for you, right? But let's just remember that we're working together as a team. Another interesting part of this gender roles in that sense is when it comes to house chores. Now, house chores are generally known for ladies, right? We're the ones that are very particular about keeping everywhere clean. We want to make sure that there's food in the house. We want to make sure that laundry is done. We want to make sure that the house is in good order, right? And that's good because as women, God has given us that kind of grace to be able to achieve some of these things. However, I think this is a message to the men out there. There are times where the woman needs help and support, guys. You cannot just, because I noticed that a lot of African guys just tend to believe that it's the woman's responsibility, let her do it, and they don't lift a finger to help or to support. Guys, please and please, you need to help your woman. You need to help your woman. You need to support her. She cannot do everything all on her own. Imagine especially now, let's even imagine that she's a working class lady, right? So she goes to work, she comes back, she prepares food, she takes care of the kids, gets the kids to bed. I mean, that's just a lot, guys. She also has to take care of you, and in the night you still come and say right? Even for women that are housewives, being a housewife is not a walk in the park. It's not a walk in the park. It's not something that you should just gloss over and say, after all, she's always at home. Guys, she's not just always at home. There's a lot to do from beginning to the end. When you are a housewife, from the moment you wake up to the moment your children or the entire family goes to bed, that is when your shift is over. So guys, I'm telling you, see, it is a lot of work for any woman generally, and it would be nice for our men to help out sometimes. And I think another one that usually gets me is when I hear feedback about men that don't even clean up after themselves. That's actually very irritating for any woman. I'm sorry. She might not say it. She might not react. She might not want to, some ladies are even very upfront. They'll just tell you as it is. That was mean of that. Why would you just put your shoe here? I also heard feedback about guys that do this, right? There has to be a means where we can communicate with you guys, where you will listen and not feel like we're being condescending. Because at the end of the day, the message is about kindness. We need to help one another. And it's about kindness, right? So when you see that she's struggling or you see that there's a lot on her plate, the least you can do, even if you don't want to help to wash plate or do dishes sometimes, if you don't want to help to cook dinner, if you don't want to help to do anything, at least clean up after yourself. You finish eating, please by all means clear your dish. Don't leave your plate exactly where you just finished eating your meal. Carry your plate and take it to the sink. If you come back and your shoes are scattered in a particular place, okay, please pack it gently and put it where the shoes are supposed to be. Don't leave your clothes hanging all around anyhow. If you use the bathroom, please clean it once you are done, right? These are things that will help the woman not to feel like, oh, you just see her as a maid, or you just see her as she's the one that will do it, she's responsible for all these types of things. No. It's really not easy for women, when they have to go through all that. So guys, I feel like there's a lot of things about gender roles in relationships, right, that tend to usually come up. For example, cooking. There was a conversation I was listening to recently between a couple of some guys and some ladies, right? And the guy was saying that when I go to work, I've gone to work to go and struggle, to go and hustle to make money. So when I go to work, even if I come back 12 midnight, this woman must be awake waiting for me, and my food must be steaming hot when I get in. I'm like, what? He's like, yes, he cannot even microwave anything, that the food has to be hot, steaming and waiting for him on his table. And then the ladies in that conversation were arguing like, no, you cannot say that, this one, that one, that. I'm like, even me, when I was listening to it, I was like, wow, how great you are. how great you are. This is a woman that probably went to work, and even if she didn't go to work, she had kids to take care of every day. She's running out skelter, taking care of children. See, guys, let me tell you, children are on another level, especially when you still have them in their young ages, where they are still growing up. You have them from age 0 to age 6, 7. There's still a lot of work. In fact, what am I ever saying? Age 0, between age 0 and age 5. In fact, there are a lot of work. Now, combining that with your own career, combining that with taking care of the home, keeping the home. Now, if you have a help in your house, fine. But if you don't have help, because I've even heard some men that say, no, I don't want help in my house. So the woman must do everything. Or Benny, you want to kill her. And then you will not even lift up a finger to help her. So I'm just saying, like, guys, see, at the end of the day, for me, I'm not really all about gender roles. This is my opinion anyways, right? I'm not really about gender roles, or a man is supposed to do XYZ, a woman is supposed to do XYZ. Yes, growing up, we have been conditioned to have some of these things in our subconscious. So when they are not essentially playing out the way we think, I feel like in relationship, it's important that you communicate with your partner. Like, oh, this is the expectation that I had, or growing up, this is what I was taught, this is what I saw. But as we are married, or as we're in this relationship, this is not what I'm seeing. This is not my expectation. This is what I want. This is what I think. This is what I think. And let the other person share their feelings and their thoughts with you, and let them tell you, oh, I'm so sorry. This is actually, and then reach a compromise if you need to. Right? So, but this thing about gender roles and responsibilities in relationship, well, in my opinion, the message for me is just about kindness. It's about helping one another, being fair to one another, being respectful to your party, right? And communicating, please. Very, very important. It's important that we communicate, because the truth is, in relationships, these are two people that are coming from two different backgrounds, right? Grew up in different ways, learned different things as they grew up, right? And so, of course, their values, ideas about certain things will definitely be different. So it's important that you communicate, you talk about these things, and I'm sure that by doing so, we'll be able to break some of these barriers, and there'll be better understanding. And we can say yes, and we can say relationships can be better for it. So, guys, that's just a little bit about what I want to share with you guys today. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for riding with me. For those of you that want to share your opinions, I'm ready to listen. So please drop it in the comment section, and just share your thoughts with me. What do you think about it? Do you think that there are certain things that are non-negotiable? Do you think there are certain things that we can still compromise and be flexible about in terms of gender relationships? Please feel free to share with me, and I'll be glad to read them, to take learnings from them as well. We don't know who will be reaching by sharing some of this feedback. Right, so thank you guys so very much for listening. For those that have not subscribed, please feel free to subscribe, like, share, and comment, and I'll see you some other time. Thank you so much. Bye.